Major breaking news from the political and legal world together. The Supreme Court, with 3 justices previously selected by former President Donald Trump, has declared that Donald Trump is indeed immune from prosecution, certainly for all core political actions, up to lower courts when it comes to borderline official actions, and does not have immunity from actions that clearly have nothing to do with his role as president. And if your question is, well, who determines whether sending a slate of fake electors to say Trump won Arizona when he lost, that can't possibly count as an official act, can it? Donald Trump's lawyers are arguing that indeed it can. This is an extraordinary situation. So-called constitutional conservatives are mostly thrilled with this decision, despite the fact that it seems to run completely counter to their law and order perspective, or whatever you would call it. And we have to now go into the details. The Supreme Court has determined former presidents do have broad immunity from prosecution. And it has to do with 3 categories of acts. Core official acts that are part of being president, generally official acts as president, and not official. Now, as we sort that out, the biggest and most immediate news is that this will extend the delay in Donald Trump's Washington, D.C. criminal case. Trump will not be tried before the election. This was a 6-3 ruling in the Supreme Court by the conservative majority. There are some, like Justice Sonia Sotomayor, who says that this ruling makes Trump a king. She wrote, in every use of official power, the president is now a king above the law. Samuel Alito, whose wife flew flags related to the January 6th riots and the 2020 election, ruled that Trump mostly has immunity. Clarence Thomas, whose wife was involved in supporting the movement that wanted to overturn the election, has ruled that Trump mostly has immunity. So now the question is, what counts as an official act? Inciting a riot certainly can't be an official act, right? Well, that's going to be the next battle. And Donald Trump's lawyers will certainly and absolutely argue that everything Trump did was indeed an official act. They're already doing it on TV. We'll get to that a little bit later in the show. Donald Trump celebrating yesterday on Truth Social, saying in all capital letters, quote, "Big win for our Constitution and democracy. Proud to be an American." Trump continuing, "Today's historic decision by the Supreme Court should end all of crooked Joe Biden's witch hunts against me, including the New York hoaxes, the Manhattan scam cooked up by Soros-backed DA Alvin Bragg, racist New York Attorney General Tish James's shameless attack on the amazing business that I have built, and the fake Bergdorf's case. Proud to be an American." Trump continuing, relentless on Truth Central, quote, "The Supreme Court totally dismantled most of the charges against me. Joe Biden should now call off his, quote, dogs. Our country should now be focused on greatness again." And then finally, quote, in all caps, "The Supreme Court decision is a much more powerful one than some had expected it to be. It is brilliantly written and wise," as if Trump knows anything about brilliant writing, "and clears the stench from the Biden trials and hoaxes, all of them, that have been used as an unfair attack on crooked Joe Biden's political opponent, me. Many of these fake cases will now disappear or wither into obscurity. I did everything right and they indicted me. God bless America." So what's the takeaway? Well, one takeaway is, if this is the way it works, what can Biden get away with now legally because he's immune? We will discuss that later. Takeaway number 2 is that the November election just became even more important. And so anybody who is thinking of staying home, anybody who's thinking of a protest vote or whatever, I'm not here to shame you out of it. I'm not here to talk you out of it. What I am here to say is that you had better be really, really, really sure that you are comfortable taking any action that would allow emboldened immune Trump to get 4 more years, that would allow the instatement of Project 2025, that would allow all of Donald Trump's worst instincts, but also the people around him, because he will be unrestrained with complete suck-up, brown-nosing sycophants around him to do whatever they please with the newfound confidence that the Supreme Court decision has given them. If you're going to take an action that will help push that closer to a reality, you've got to be really comfortable ethically and morally. When we have a MAGA Supreme Court until 2048 or 2050, you've got to be comfortable with your role in that. So listen, the point here is it's not about shame. It's about what we're comfortable with. I'm not comfortable with that. So is it Biden, whose debate was terrible, but who has good people around him? I'll vote for him. Is he replaced with Gavin Newsom? Is he replaced with anybody that's better than Trump? If he is, I'm voting for whoever is better than Trump. Now, if you come up with someone worse than Trump, well, then I would apply harm reduction and vote Trump instead of whoever is worse. But for right now, Biden, Trump, 72% of the country thinks Biden's unfit to serve. 54% of the country thinks Trump is unfit to serve. All right, well, they're both unfit to serve. I'm voting Biden. That's where we are. Many of us have bad habits we want to kick. Finding motivation can be hard, especially when life gets heavy and the bad habit seems to be what's keeping you sane. Thankfully, Fume is here to help you prioritize your health in a way that will not disrupt your daily life. Introducing Fume's award-winning flavored air device that is quickly becoming the leading alternative to smoking and to vaping. The point of Fume is to satisfy the hand-to-mouth fixation of some of these bad habits, which makes healthy change feel even easier. The Fume device is sleek, it's sophisticated, you can fidget with it. There is no nicotine here, only natural ingredients like plant extracts and oils. There's no electronics, there's no vapor. There is an amazing selection of flavors, from the popular crisp mint to the adventurous black licorice and cinnamon hearts. Fume is delicious. It's subtle. You can keep using it without feeling overwhelmed. So start your journey today. Go to tryfume.com and use the code PACMAN to get a free gift with your journey pack, which includes a Fume device, 3 core flavors of your choice, and a cleaning kit. If you are struggling to get rid of that bad habit, try Fume. The link is in the description.